I was 15, sophomore in high school. It was a beautiful day, just about like today. Went to school just like any other day. I had an FFA event that morning. I don't remember what time exactly it started, but I remember having to call home before we left to make sure that it was still okay that we went. We didn't really know why, but we did. And we went to this computer lab in the school before we left while we were waiting for the bus. They didn't really have Google back then, but I remember getting on Yahoo News' website and seeing that a plane had flew into a skyscraper in New York. Nobody knew what to think or what was going on at that time, but we went to our event, came back that afternoon, and the world had changed. We had no idea what was going on at the time. The teachers let us turn the TVs on in the school, which never happened, and we watched history unfold the rest of the afternoon. The world changed that day, and it shaped my generation more than people will ever realize, I feel like. 20 years ago today, September 11th, 2001. Where were you on that day? You know, people like to talk about September 12th and how united the country was, and it was. But it wasn't just September 12th. It was for weeks after that. September 12th, mostly what I remember was still watching the TV, trying to find survivors, hoping to find anybody alive in the rubble. And it was in the days and weeks following that the United States came together as a country, determined to get back, I guess, make amends, to bring down whoever did that to us. This is a tough day for me every year, and I'll never forget how I felt that day, where I was, and what that's done to the world since then. My kids are still too young to understand, but someday when they're older, we're going to sit down and watch a documentary about September 11th so that they'll understand what happened and that we will never forget. And I encourage you, if you have young children, or, I mean, they're not young anymore, the kids that have been born since then, it's important to know what happened on that day and how everything changed, and the stories that of heroes and the people, and how everybody came together to do everything they could to help their neighbors, and that everything just stopped. Don't ever forget. Good morning. It's a Saturday today. We've got some cover crops to seed. So yesterday, Maddie and I did get our countertops relatively close to picked out. We narrowed it down on a couple of things, but picked out most of them. Dad and Brock and Jack got the field cultivator fixed yesterday, got that wheel bearing put back together. Dad is working on the last field right now with the field cultivator, and that means we're ready to go plant some cover crops. So we loaded this up yesterday. I am going to head to the field and get started planting the first box out, which should plant just about the whole first field. So we'll know if our rate is relatively close or not when we get done with this one. We are all set up and ready to go here. I've got seed in there. We're trying to seed about 35 pounds the acre of our oats and radish blend. Like I said yesterday, it's a 90-10 blend of oats to radish. So in 50 pounds, there's 45 pounds of oats and 5 pounds of radish seed. We're up in that triangle field where Dad was moving dirt here around the driveway, and they got it fit down. It looks pretty nice. There's a lot of straw out there yet, a lot of residue, but that's okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get started and see how this works. I think I've got everything set up right, and yeah, we'll see. We are gonna have to get out and check our depth here pretty quick. I'm gonna make a round on the ends. We'll check it on the way back towards this side. Seems to be working okay. The one thing I don't know, it's actually counting seeds per acre. I don't know that is anywhere close to right. I have no idea. That's the thing. We're not planting soybeans where we're planting a set amount of seeds per acre. We're planting by pounds per acre. So I'm trying to figure out how this monitor is going to work exactly. Phil did some cleaning and work when he had this in his shop and was working. And those curtains there in front of the meters, I'll show you when I get out, but they're actually clear. I can see the meters turning from now. They were covered in dirt so bad when we were double cropping beans, you couldn't see that. I didn't know they were clear. So that's kind of nice. All right, well, let's check and see what kind of a job we're doing here. It looks good. A little digging. Fan's loud. Well, this stuff is very difficult to find. Right there's one of our oat seeds. I just buried it. It blends in with the wheat stubble and the straw so well, they're hard to find. But the ones that I am here look about perfect. It's where we want them. I'm shooting for just about an inch deep or so, maybe not even quite that. I think it'll be fine. Right down in there. That curtain I was telling you about so that I can see the meters turning a little bit better. Nice. Seems to be working. Everything looks good. So as nice as it is to have a monitor here that's telling me how much it's planting to a point, the best way to check our rate with this air seeder is to basically put a known amount of seed in there, see how far it plants, decide if that was the right rate or not. So that's what we're doing. Our monitor is tracking acres for me. We should get about 57 acres on a box. There are 57.5 acres in this field. So we ought to be able to plant the whole thing and then be out of seed, and we'll see. If we have seed left, we'll adjust it higher. If we have run out short, we'll adjust it lower. Okay, we are rolling along pretty good here. Everything seems to be working pretty well. This ground is really loose and fluffy, especially this back corner here is a little bit of a sand ridge. There is a lot of residue in places, and I think we're struggling to break through some of that a little bit, but we're seeding a cover crop. This is not a critical operation that has to go off perfectly. Obviously, we want our air seeder to do a good job because in a week or two, we're going to be using it to plant wheat, and that is a little bit more critical. So that's part of the nice thing about using it for this. And just like when we did the double crop beans, it was learning how to use it then. Now it's making sure that we've got everything set up right, and the new openers and everything is working like it's supposed to. And we're getting our cover crop seeded. So I see Phil's up there. He's checking stuff on the ends. Probably wants to see how everything's going here too. So that's good. We'll keep rolling through it. We've got, what do we got? About 15 acres done. It's gonna take a little while to get across here, doing 20 acres an hour about. So, yep, we'll keep moving. It is a touch dusty out here. Better know where you're at and where you're going. Can't see really anything on the air seeder. Sometimes it's worse than others. Now it's blowing off to the side. Well, I finally have made it up to behind the first house. We've got a long ways to go across to get to the point compared to where we came from the corn over there. But we've got 35 acres done. There's only 21 left to go. That's what happens with triangle fields and point rows. The vast bulk of the acres are over here. And while we've got a lot of turns to make, there's not a lot of acres left. So another hour, or a little over an hour, I suppose, we'll be done with this one. It's still too early to tell how our seed's going to come out. I have no idea. We got to be close, but we could be getting it on a little heavy, could be a little light. We'll adjust, like I said, once we get done here. All right, I am down to less than 15 acres to go in this field. I've got my wife's car because we didn't come back to the farm to get my truck last night after she picked me up. Anyway, she wants it. So Dad's up here. He's going to take me back to the farm. I'm going to go run that stuff around. I'll bring my truck and the seed tender up here when we're done so we can just load up when we're done with this field and keep going here this afternoon. So I'll be back in a little bit. Lunch, seed tender. Let's go back to the field. Back at it here. We're gonna finish this up and then get loaded. There's a football game that starts pretty soon. Oh, we're not planting. Why are we not planting? Now it is. Alright, well, we're gonna have a gap there. Oh well. Anyway, there's a football game that starts here in a few minutes, and I'm gonna watch it on my phone, so I probably won't record a whole lot for the next 3 hours. Sorry. Bad news. My low tank warning light came on. We still got 12 acres to plant in this field. Means we're off by probably 10 acres. So our rate is too high. Good thing I brought the seed up here. We'll just go fill it up. We'll turn our rate down and keep planting. It is not super critical that we have our rate just exactly perfect on this cover crop seed stuff. So it's not the end of the world. We just want to make sure we have enough. So we're gonna turn it down. I have been shooting for about 35 pounds to the acre of our blend of the oats and radishes. I'll have to do some math to figure out what we actually put on. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's just gonna mean that going forward, we probably need to try and get it down to like 32 pounds to the acre. So it'll be fine. You think both of those boxes will fit in here? I'm not sure, but I think I'm gonna try. This is our cover crop seed. Oats and radishes. The big stuff is the oats. They're very hard to find when you plant them because they look like wheat chaff. The little red seeds are the radish seeds. All blended up nice. I don't think 2 boxes fit, but I don't know because I ran out of gas. So we got enough to do this and probably the next field. We'll call it good for now. Keep moving, little guy. Turtle. You made it. Finished with this field. We got her all folded up. So we ended up planting 56.94 of, you know, we're less than 2/10 of an acre that didn't get planted. That's just along the edges, whatever. So good deal. This one's done. On to the next. All right, I'm over here working on the second field. It's halftime. So I wanted to get out and do a little more digging. We'll look around, make sure we're doing a good job here. This field fit up beautifully. So this is the field where we had that fire, which means there's not much residue here. And so I should be able to find the seed a little bit easier than I could earlier, where it was just really difficult to see anything because it blended in. Oh yeah, right there's a oats, there's a radish. There was one. Oh, that's about perfect planting depth. I'm really happy with that. It's a little dry. We certainly could use some rain to get this stuff growing. The corn and soybean crop is basically made at this point, so rain isn't going to do us much good for that. But it would help this cover crop out. And there's a pretty good chance of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday, so we'll get this stuff off and growing. I wanted to get it planted before that rain comes on Tuesday, so I don't think we're going to finish it today, but we'll keep her moving. If I had an American flag on that air seeder, this would be the perfect thumbnail picture somewhere right in here, but I don't. Not quite 15 acres done here, 50 to go. I'm not sure if I'll have enough seed in there to finish this or not. I did get part of that second box put in before it ran out of gas. So it'll be tight here. I'm guessing we're gonna run a little short because we did 10 acres in that last field too, so that's okay. Well, the football game didn't turn out quite like I wanted it to. That's okay. Oregon's a good football team, and Ohio State didn't play great for a while, and then it played okay, but whatever. It is what it is. Not the end of the world for me. So, I'm about out of seed. Well, we're a little uneven, so I'm gonna even that out and we'll plant it out here. Not quite gonna finish this field, but that's okay. We shouldn't have quite finished this field. We should be down to 5-ish acres to go, and I think that's about where we'll end up. So our rate's pretty close is what I am saying. At least my Sparties looks good again though, right? I didn't actually watch that game, but it looks like they played well, so that's positive. we're out of seed. My truck's not here, so we're gonna just head back to the farm. I'm probably done for the day. It's 4:15. We'll see. I gotta go get some gas and take it up there and get my truck and the seed tender, and we'll see where we're at. Should start now. There you go. Gotta have fuel to run. All right, got my tender clearly, and we're gonna run the rest of this cover crop seed up in there, and yeah, then we can go. I don't know. We could take the boxes off, but we're probably just gonna put it in the barn. Okay, I got that box emptied. All of our cover crop seed is in the air seeder. I'm just gonna go park this down in my seed warehouse, and we'll deal with it Monday. All right, guys, I have got to go because today also happens to be my father-in-law's birthday, and it's a big one for him this year. So we're going to my in-laws to celebrate tonight. In fact, my wife and boys have been there all day, and I'm heading down there for dinner. So I've got to get going. Thanks for watching today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know what's going on tomorrow. I may or may not be working. Probably not. I probably won't make a video tomorrow. I did hear a rumor this afternoon, though, that one of our local ethanol plants is paying over $7 a bushel for corn right now because they're out and they need some. And current market price for fall delivery is about $4.50. So if you can gain $2.50 a bushel delivering corn this week, it's time to go. So I have a feeling that if not tomorrow, probably not tomorrow, Monday, we're going to be shelling corn and trying to capture some of that. So we'll see. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next week.